phone to ring to try to sell something.
It's a way different world now.
It's come a long way. And I would say probably like even into owning my first business, I kind of felt I didn't want to tell anybody because I thought it was a bad thing. But
working with your uncle, what was the most memorable lesson that you learned?
The most memorable lesson, I would say.
And eventually you get to a point where you clear $1 million for the first time.
Yeah. It grew like real fast. Like it was like first year was like 250, and then second year was like 800, and then we passed that million mark. And the million mark is everybody wants that million mark, and I wanted it too. Like I really did. I thought like, how cool would that be?
Yeah,
how
get that
cool
$1 million.
would that be? Like to say like
message actually. And so now you had been doing your business now, successful business for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Right, 10 years now. And then, you come to a point where you realize, well,
Yeah, so I did it for 10 years, and I basically had a goal. I had a goal right from the beginning, and like I can still remember the day. Like I was in the showroom and I'm looking around and I'm thinking about, we have this big, huge shop and 14,000 square feet and we got tons of employees, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I did it, which made me feel good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it was like, I did exactly what I wanted to set out to do. So that was all cool. Yeah. But after that point, I started to come in more and more and started to think there's something else. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? It's not always about like the financial success of it. It's not. And so what I realized that I was lacking like fulfillment, 100%. So I started like really question like, do I want to be doing this forever? Yeah. And I honestly started to say, no. No, there's more to it, right? Like I'm not fulfilled 100%, and I want to try to help other people, build businesses or do marketing and business consulting and that, and that's where I came up with starting to do marketing, because I really enjoy talking to business owners. So I thought, hey, let's start a marketing company. Let's do business consulting for companies. I already had a marketing team that was with me, and they're still with me to this day. So Corey's my main manager there, and
shout out to Corey.
Yeah, he's been with me for 15 plus years.
Oh, wow.
So, but he's been watching. He's like one business and then go to another, and then, just creating this whole thing. And he's like, man, I don't know how you do it, but I just do it. Like, I don't know. I just pull the trigger. And, you really got to, when it comes to something like that, when you actually built that business.
Yeah. How do you know when it's time to pull the trigger?
You don't know. Like, there was a huge, huge thing that, honestly, there's no right time. There was no right time. And I honestly was questioning myself, thinking, like, should I, like, I better be sure what I'm doing.
What's your mindset like in that time?
Like, I definitely have to be sure, because if I'm not, like, then this is a big step. This is not just something that you go back from or whatever, right? So I ended up getting rid of the company. I, did a bunch of stuff in the meantime, started the marketing company, and I really did not get traction for, I think it was about 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
3 years after, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like I went from all of this to like nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like a huge, I was kind of beating myself up. I'm like, I think I made the bad choice. And then I kind of went back and forth. I'm like, no, this is what I want. Like, I know it takes time because I've done it before. Yeah. So I know that it's not going to happen in the first year, the second year. So I had to wait. I waited with my marketing company before I got any traction for that long. So,
how do you manage to keep pushing and stay consistent even when you're not seeing the results that you want to see?
Got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something wrong. Like there's got to be. Yeah,
because you have to have a belief in yourself, obviously, because you have to really believe that your thing is going to make something happen.
It's no different than when you go to the gym, right? Like it's a very good example. Like why would you keep doing that? Why would you keep pushing heavier weights and you're sore the next day, but you see like a goal and you know that you're not going to see results tomorrow, you're not going to see results next week, but hey, on that first year 1, 2, 3, you can look back and look yourself in the mirror and go,
like, whoa,
I did it.
Yeah.
I'm the man, right?
Yeah,
I did it, right?
I'm the man.
So I think if you have that mindset, you'll be fine. Just go back to the gym. Like it's the same. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. It takes and it's not just the gym.
Yeah.
It's like mindset, gym, health, like sleep. To build muscle,
you
rest. Don't just you need rest. You need proper fuel.
Or you're gonna like that one,
stuff, right? Yeah.
Or he likes that one because he's just talking to me about rest too, the importance of rest. Everyone thinks you gotta work, but you also need to rest too.
Rest is, rest is
that's
huge.
when you grow, really.
Yeah, you're recharging.
Yeah.
Like
so.
that's. Yeah, if you don't have enough rest, you're not going to be 100% on your games.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%.
I catch myself doing it all the time. Like
no. So a theme I keep hearing you bring up, kind of throughout, is mindset.
Yep.
How important is mindset been on your journey?
It's probably the most important, and that's where a lot of the questions that you're even asking just comes back down to mindset and like really like tuning into what works and what doesn't for you. But mindset is honestly it's probably right up there with like number one for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a good mindset, like you got nothing. Like and like it's really true. Like you can't even even if you how can you have a good mindset, or how can you have like how can I communicate with you properly, like using my language, if I don't have a proper mindset? Or how can I start a business if I don't have a good mindset? Or how can I overcome struggles or any of the things that you go through if you don't have a good mindset? Like mindset is everything. It's the number one thing that you have control over. Everybody has control over. Anything could happen. Any situation could happen in my life, your life, good or bad. But it's your mindset is what decides
how you look at that
how
thing,
you're going to choose.
Yeah.
If something bad happens, if I have a good mindset, I'm gonna learn the lesson. I'm gonna learn from it quick, and I'm gonna move on. If you have a bad mindset, it's gonna drag you down. You're gonna think about all the negative stuff, and then that's where it kind of leads and spreads on to the people that you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with a whole bunch of people with bad mindsets, and they're like negative and they're telling you can't do that, like why do you think you're that good? Like what do you think you're better than us, or what do you think you're better than everybody? It's not the point. It's mindset is huge. So if you surround yourself with positive people, and you're down, what's going to happen? If you're down and I'm positive, I'm going to be like, you got it. Just lift yourself back up and you can make it happen. So that's why surrounding yourself with really good people is like huge. And you hear this all the time. Like you hear it all the time. Like even you hear successful people having to, not talk to family members even. It happens a lot because they're pulling them down. So it's like, get rid of the people that are pulling you down, and the people that are bringing you up, just keep them around.
So like, that's touching on that. Sometimes that's a really hard decision or hard thing to do. How do you do that? Like when you get to a point where like, hey, you are trying to be successful and you know it's going to take time. It's 1, 2, 3 years. So like, hey, just give up. How do you kind of, especially if it's a long time friend, years, how do you kind of make that cut to then kind of still kind of,
I know it's probably like a real tough conversation to obviously have. It'd be real tough. But like if you basically sit down and you'd be like, man, you got to support me here. Like we're longtime friends. We've been friends a long time. And I'm just telling you right now, like I need you as a friend. I need you to support me, and just start with that. And you'll know when you need to cut ties. Like you really, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be probably the hardest thing you ever have to do if the friend's been in your life your whole life, or if it's a family member. How do you cut a family member out? But sometimes You have to cut a family member out or
get to, yeah.
somebody close to get what you want because they're
Yeah.
pulling you down, right? So
No,
yeah,
I definitely feel that one. So that
it's
one,
not easy.
it's not easy. No.
Nothing good in life happens. Like nothing good in life happens that's easy. Like it's always hard. And if you're in like a good spot and you're comfortable and you're not being like pushed or you're not being challenged, it's the worst place that you can be in life. You have to be challenged. Like that's the only, you have to be challenged all the time. How can you grow if you're not challenged? There's no way. There's no way you can grow. It's
You have to
absolutely
be.
not possible.
Yeah.
If you're like comfortable in a comfortable place and you're like, okay, I make enough money, everything's okay. You know, I got a girlfriend, he cooks me dinner, and like I'm cool. No, you got to put yourself out there and put yourself in an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
Because then you grow into the person that you want to be, and you basically do stuff that you never thought you can do.
You have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've said that.
Yeah.
I've said that lots.
Yeah,
you
gotta
have to
get
get
comfortable.
Yeah, you have to
get
get comfortable
being uncomfortable.
and
Yeah.
that's a tough space to be in.
Yeah,
It really is. It's
Always.
not easy because our normal instinct is to get out of uncomfortable situations, not be comfortable in them, right? So, and that's where you kind of have to step back and, like we were saying before, step back and look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
Don't react to where you're at. Just step back and take a look at it and see where you're at, and then make a decision.
I love that. That right there is a gem too. No, I love that one. So just kind of speaking on being uncomfortable, I want you to take us back to maybe the darkest time or the most difficult circumstance that you faced in your life, and kind of what was your thought process during that time, and how were you able to get past it, and kind of what did you learn? I guess
the toughest ops.
Yeah, the toughest obstacle or struggle that you had to face.
Probably would have been. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but it probably would have been back when I was starting a business with no money. Either that or just just dropping out of school and not knowing. That was a pretty big obstacle.
Yeah.
And then in between getting rid of the one business and then starting the other one, that was real tough too.
Yeah.
Because you had to, you got to understand that, like, I was already there. Like, I already had the business. I already did it. And then I felt like I went backwards, right?
Yeah.
So then my mindset had to totally change from what I'm used to. So what made me feel comfortable in that time was knowing that I already did it like once before. So that was a pretty tough time to deal with.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the tougher ones was starting a business and not having any money.
Yeah.
And like, people don't believe me, but I did it. Like, I actually had no money, like absolutely zero money to start my business, and I pulled it off. So no credit cards, no nothing. Like, there was nothing.
And so I remember even you telling me, mentioning there was a point where, like, you had to you would go to the gas station and you had to get gas without even.
That was a long. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was just before going back, just before I started my first business, and that was a pretty rough time.
Yeah.
So I basically had no gas, had no money, had no nothing. So, but like, you have to figure out solutions to your problems.
Yeah.
And there's one big thing is that if you have, like, if your vision is clear enough and you have a specific goal that you're trying to achieve, doesn't matter what, you're gonna get it. So I used to go to gas stations and I'm like filling up my tank and filling all these jerry cans up, knowing that like I cannot pay for this stuff. But so it was like so bad. I would go into the gas station and literally I would give them all my information. I was like totally, I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet at home, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I would always come back though.
Yeah.
Like, I would always pay. I never, cheating and stealing and lying is you'll never get ahead in life doing that. So, I always came back, and sometimes it was like a week later, and they weren't happy. But
Yeah.
you know what? Sometimes, you know, at
Gotta
the end of
do
the day, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not okay to break the rules, but bending,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta-
like
yeah,
bending
you
the
gotta
rules.
sometimes-
That's okay. We
Sometimes
can
you
bend the rules.
gotta do what you gotta do to get to where you need to
100%.
get to, right?
But the goal, like having clear goals, is a huge thing. And
How do you set clear goals?
Well, a lot of people have like a hard time setting clear goals.
I have a hard time, so I would like
so
to know.
I honestly, like you and me both. So it's
Yeah.
it's definitely it's an ongoing like thing that you learn, because setting goals is not something that you just do and then all of a sudden it's there. You want to set a goal that's higher than you could imagine to reach. Because I honestly feel that in my my other business, I didn't set the goal high enough. Like if I would have, I probably would have done that for a longer period of time. But I made the goal, and then I got the goal, and it was like, this is it. So I technically I should have made the goal bigger. But goals are very, very interesting.
Same.
And setting a goal and writing it down on a piece of paper and envisioning it is probably like the most important thing you can do. And the reason I say that is that if you have a strong enough goal and you are like committed 100%, like I'm going to get this, I don't know how I'm going to get it, I'm just going to do it, this is my goal, this is what I want, something happens that most people aren't like actually aware of. You'll start to notice certain things that will be able to get you to that goal. So there's actually a part in your brain. It's called a reticular activating system.
Okay.
Short, it's called RAS. So it's something in your brain that if you have a strong enough goal, things start popping out, and you start noticing things that you wouldn't usually notice because your goal is so strong that things are starting to pop out. I'll give you an example. So say you just bought that nice red hat. Okay, it's a nice hat. It's a nice hat. But as soon as you bought that hat, you're like, man, I really like this hat. This is amazing. This hat is nice. So you're walking through the mall. What are you going to start noticing? You're going to start noticing all these hats. Like, why is everybody has these red hats, or even cars? You know what I mean? You buy your car that you love. As soon as you buy that car, you start seeing that car everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's your RAS.
Oh.
That's your RAS kicking in that now this is relevant in my life. Like this is a part of, this is what I'm noticing because I choose it to be, right? So choice is a big thing. As soon as you make that choice, sometimes things happen and you don't even know how you're doing it. And that's where like the whole pull the trigger, start doing something before you're comfortable. Don't worry. If your goal is clear enough and you want it bad enough, your RAS will help you. It definitely will. That's why it's there. So it will start bringing up situations, and you'll start noticing certain things that will move you towards that goal. So
I love that, because it's funny. Me and Ori were just talking about this maybe last week. He was telling me, he was saying reality. He's like, forget about reality. He's like, you got to set goals that are like outside of reality, like that they're beyond realistic.
Yeah. They're unrealistic.
Yes. You have to set goals like that and just go. He said, screw that, screw that realistic crap or whatever like that. Just set a goal and aim for it, no matter how big it is. And you got to set big goals. And it's funny that you said that when you got to your goal, you were like, this is it. Because I remember just on our last episode, we were talking with the world champ, John David Jackson.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he had a fighter, and that fighter's goal was just to be the world champ. I think his name was Nate Campbell. Yeah, just to be world champ. When he got to the world champ, he won it, and then right after he won the world champ, the very next fight he lost his belt. And it's because his only goal was to become the world champ. It wasn't to actually defend it, the process. And then another friend of mine, a former guest on the show, shout out to Sean Smears, he mentioned to me something that really, really stuck out to me. He said, people get caught up and they set result-based goals where, okay, my result is to lose the 10 pounds. Okay, I lose the 10 pounds. Now what? Now that I've got to that goal, now what? I go back and I gain 10 pounds again. Whereas instead of setting process-driven goals, whereas the goal that I want is I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I want to be lean. That goal is a lifelong goal to be healthy. It's not just
Totally.
there's no
Totally.
target.
There's no end point.
There's no
Yeah.
end point.
Yeah, there's no end
right?
point,
It's
for
the
sure.
process of me being
It's
healthy.
a process.
I need to eat better. I need to
Yep.
get better sleep. I need to drink enough water. I need to get enough sunlight. I need to exercise. All those things are in the process of me becoming are in a process driven goal.
Yep.
And so it's so interesting because this is another person that's saying that. But when you get to that mountaintop of achieving your goal, it's so important to either set another goal or to
For sure.
set process driven goals or set another goal for you to aim to.
And that's where like financial success is totally different than fulfillment, right? So like this is exactly what you just said, like to a T, just using different words. But financial success is a science. It really is. Like financial success is a science. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are, what gender, what race. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. If you do certain things, no matter who you are or where you live or whatever, if you have the opportunities, you do a certain matter of things and you will get the success. Every person will get the same success. So that's financial success. But fulfillment is a totally different thing. So if you base your goals off of fulfillment, like helping others or helping everybody, as many people as you possibly can, that's a goal that you won't ever be able to achieve like fully because everybody can't help everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a goal that you cannot reach, which is good. Keeps you chasing.
Keeps you chasing.
But
yeah.
fulfillment is a huge thing. And the biggest failure is having financial success and not being fulfilled. That is the biggest failure in business, in entrepreneurship, in everything. If you have financial success and you're not fulfilled, it's the number one failure. And I'll give you an example. Everybody knows Robin Williams, right?
Yep.
So he obtained all of that. He got everything. He was a famous comedian. He was famous everything, like different movies, drama. He had a family. He had kids. He had money. He had influence. He had everything he wanted, and he was basically making everybody else happy, but he wasn't happy himself.
Yeah.
So he was trying to reach that financial success, but he wasn't fulfilled doing it. So what happened in the end? He failed. It was the biggest. He ended up killing himself, and that's just a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And the whole world was affected by that. So that's like a really, really good example of, wanting to have that financial success, but not being fulfilled. It's terrible. Like it's not worth it, right?
Yeah, you getting to that mountaintop and not really. Especially, it's like almost like if I get to the mountaintop and I get there alone, I can't celebrate it with everybody else because I didn't bring anybody with me. I didn't enjoy people's company and to spend time or to do those types of things.
100%. And usually, like the most fulfilled people usually are the ones that are helping others because it just makes you feel good. Like you help me, I help you. Like we feel better.
Yeah.
But if you make money off me and then I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I know you're just talking to me to try to make money.
Yeah. It's not.
That don't make me feel very good, right?
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah.
And so okay, so now kind of getting into the education of things here now. Just kind of educating people on your process of how you were able to start all these businesses. So for somebody that wants to start a business, what would be some actionable steps that you would give them in any business they want to start? What's maybe the first thing they should start doing?
I would honestly say you probably should take some business courses for sure. Okay. Like it's there's a ton of courses out there like MBAs that you can take that will allow you to learn not everything, but it'll teach you the finance end of things. It'll teach you some marketing stuff. It'll teach you some business management, like all that. So that's like one area that would be like a number one thing to do. But another thing is you want to be doing stuff that you enjoy doing. Don't do something just for the money. I'm telling you, like don't go down that road, because even if you get a little bit of success, the fulfillment part, it's right back to that. Yeah. So you won't be fulfilled doing something that you don't enjoy doing. Yeah. So just find something that you really like doing. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like there's people that have 500,000 or $1 million companies that sell fake plants. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they love it. They love it. Just like they're making face. Yeah, they just love it. They're like, look what I made, and they makes them feel happy that someone else is happy receiving their products. And it doesn't matter what it is, but like do something that you're passionate about. Do something that leaves a mark, whatever mark that is. It can be different for it's different for everybody. Like, my goal is different from your goal, but it doesn't mean that my goal is better than your goal. But as long as we realize that we have the choice to make those decisions, and if you're working a job right now, there is ways out. Like you got to show appreciation and gratitude first. Like that's going to go a long ways. Like and there's a ton of people out there, even if you don't have a job right now, you're like, I'm not grateful for anything. Did you wake up this morning? Pretty sure you did. Yeah. So just say thanks. Like give thanks to the things that you're breathing. You're healthy. You got, you know what I mean. You can go to the gym. You can do all of these things. If you're working at a job that you don't like, you have the ability to work on the weekends and flip stuff, like flip game strong. Yeah. I talked to you about that too. Like, flipping is never gonna end for me. I just that's a whole other.
I'm gonna touch on that actually. You just made me remember that actually. But so you started now Textology.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about Textology? What is that about?
Yeah, so it's the idea came from when COVID hit. So I still had I have my marketing company, and I was actually a little like, I'm like, am I going to lose all my clients? Like all these businesses, are they all going to close, and I'm going to be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I was a little freaked out. So I'm like, okay, well, the best thing that you could come up with when something like that happens, or like if there's, like COVID or even like economy crash, is try to find a solution for people or businesses or whatever. So that was my mindset. I'm like, okay, I need to find a problem, and then I need to solve it with a product or something that I can create. So what would that be, and how could it be kind of connected to my business? So I'm thinking, and a couple of weeks go by, and you finally think of you talk to a few people, and you find out what they're needing in business, and it just like a light bulb went off, and there you go. So it's Textology is just a text messaging service for small businesses. So it'd be like email marketing, but through text. Okay. So everybody is already getting text messages right now from the bigger companies, but there's no solution in all of Canada right now that will allow small businesses to be able to use a system like this that is easy to set up. That can we have a program that teaches you how to build the campaigns, and you can build your lists, send text messages out when you have specials, or you have like a podcast that's being released, or anything really. Like there's a ton of different stuff. So and then we also, like, our number one customer is actually marketing agencies. Yeah. So I have, like, I'm going after my competition from the marketing side. For one reason, because they already have 20, 30, 40 clients, and I can basically, get 30 clients in one shot very easily through marketing companies. So, so we did that, and we have like a partnership program that pays the marketing companies a little bit of a percentage. Okay. So they're making money off of signing their customers up. Okay. So,
okay. Yeah, so. And I think I was reading too, he said like even text messages are open almost like 98% of the time.
Yeah, it's like 98% of the time. Well, like, if I send you an email and I send you a text, what are you going to open up?
I'll probably open the text.
And you're going to open that text so fast.
Like right away.
You email me, I'll probably answer like next week. Like, I don't know. Like, or maybe I won't. Like, so text message it's coming up strong. Like nobody even uses the phone anymore. Everybody is like, somebody's calling, you're like, I'm just busy. Can you just text me?
Yeah.
You're not busy. You're like, you don't want to answer it, right? Like, how many times have we done that? We've done that so much. So It's good and bad in a way because, obviously people aren't interacting as much
yeah.
and that's what I don't really like. People should still interact. But COVID has definitely affected that in-person communication for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the solution. So
Okay.
Textology.
Okay. And then just touching on, sorry, just touching on Blue Sky Business Development Corp.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah. So basically, I don't want to say it's a spin-off of the marketing side, but whenever you are going in selling, marketing and advertising, there's always a chance that either they need some business consulting, or if you're approaching a company that needs business consulting, they need help doing marketing. So it's like a full circle deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always businesses out there that are needing some sort of help or support or different strategies, or if it is a new business, we can kind of put together like a business plan and a strategy for you. So it's another aspect of things. We focus a lot on the marketing and advertising side. Even through Blue Sky, we do a lot of it is marketing and advertising. So, but we're still there, and we have multiple people that do like consulting that have been in business for 20 plus years. So
Okay.
so yeah.
And so now for someone who was trying to get into the marketing space, maybe what tips or advice could you give to them?
I would say, like, if you are super, super interested in doing marketing and advertising, and it would just go back to start doing a few courses to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
There's an online platform that I've used lots in the past. It's called Udemy.
Udemy,
And
Udemy,
have you used it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Like you can learn a lot of stuff off that, and it's not even and they have like a ton of material. Like we're talking 20 plus hours. Some of them have 20 plus hours of material, and you can learn something from start to finish for $16. Like how can you know what I mean? Like if you have a business and you're trying to learn how to do Facebook marketing, go pay $15 and listen and learn and take as much information as you possibly can to be able to get to the next step. So there's so many avenues. It's just like, I think it comes back down to people just create excuses why they can't do it, which is like super unfortunate, because there is so much extra time. Even if you work a full-time job and you have kids, like you work your full-time job, you make supper and you put the kids to bed. Yes, you're going to be tired, but you do have that small window. And even if you do a couple hours a night, say 2 hours a night, that's at the end of the month, you know a heck of a lot more than you did previously. So even if it takes 3 to 5 years, would you rather be ahead in 3 to 5 years, or would you rather be in the same spot?
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to that. And, being grateful is huge. We touched on that before, but a lot of people don't understand that, even if they're making $40,000 a year or whatever, and they're like, my life sucks. This sucks. Like, you got to understand that, like, 2/3 of the planet live on $2 a day right now. And that's real. That is real stuff. So as soon as you just say that, like if you tell me you have a bad day and I tell you that, all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. It's like, how can I feel like I'm, in such a terrible spot when there's people on the other side of the world that would dream. They would
don't have access to clean water.
They would dream just to have the problems that you have.
Yeah.
Just to be able to go to the store or go grab a Tim Hortons. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you got people in the drive-thru and they're mad because they didn't get extra whipping cream. Like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No. That's something that I really, really learned when I got injured, because there are so many things I took for granted. Whether it be, just getting up and being able to walk or breathing. All those things I took for granted that I could just do very easily.
100%.
And when I got injured, I could not move. I was just in the bed and I could not move at all. I couldn't, walk or anything like that. I couldn't even, I was just like this, just in one position. And it really showed me the importance of being able to just breathe and move around and do these little things that we take for granted every single day.
100%.
I had an experience in the hospital, and it just showed me the power of mindset and the power of and the importance of being grateful for the situation. Because there's always, like you were saying earlier, there's always somebody that's in a worse situation than you are,
Yep.
and they would they wish they could be in the situation that you are, and just the way that they choose to look at things. That's why I think mindset is so powerful. Mindset is everything. So in in having the right mindset, that's like you were saying, you can't do anything without the right mindset.
No.
You cannot get anywhere. In order for me to, if I see a struggle or an obstacle, when I see the struggle or an obstacle, if I have the mindset like, oh, this is it, there's nothing I can do, it's over, then that's what is going to happen.
100%.
Whatever you say and whatever you believe is most likely what's going to happen. If you say you can't, you probably can't.
Very true.
If you say you can, you can. It's just like me and Ori, when COVID happened, all the gyms were closed. So me and Ori and my other roommate, Suyash, we started working out at home. And every morning we're getting up early, 5 o'clock, going. And I would be pushing them, we'd be pushing each other. And I remember, Ori, we never used to say the word, it's hard. Never. If you said it's hard, I said, don't say that's the word. Don't say that word to me. Say it's easy. If you say it's easy, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because in life, I'm trying to build that mentality in you that even in life is not easy.
Yep.
It's hard.
That mental toughness.
You need it.
Build that mental
You
toughness.
have to build it because there's no way, life is a bunch of ups and downs. It's not a linear path. It's up and down.
That's those seasons.
It's seasons.
That's seasons, man.
If you don't have the right mindset to be able to handle that, you're gonna get knocked down.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. So that's why I'm such a big proponent of mindset, and that's why we love hearing stories like this and hearing your story, hearing how you had to overcome different obstacles, right? And how you pushed through, even when you had no money, no. Some people lose their job and it's
Just
done.
it.
It's
Yeah.
it.
Just
That's
quit.
it.
Yeah.
They can't go on.
Yeah,
And
which-
you're in a position, no money, no nothing, right?
But that's what sucks is that, I think that people are brought up this day and age and thinking that a 9-to-5 job or whatever job you're in is like the be all end all, right? Like you can be doing stuff on the side and still generating money. So let's just say that you do lose your job, that you're not completely done, right? So you got to understand that there's so many different things that you can be doing, right?
Yeah.
And we touched on that a little bit
True.
prior. Was like flipping stuff is a huge thing. Like you can buy and sell stuff until you're blue in the face. So there's a huge market. I don't think there's very many people that realize like how much money you could actually make off of just like buying random stuff, or even you could go on Marketplace and type in free.
Yeah.
I could go around tonight and I could pick up $500 probably worth of free stuff that I could be posted on Marketplace by tomorrow morning. And it's real.
So, yeah.
Like it really is. Like you're probably going to go on Marketplace. You're going to start seeing things. No, but
yeah.
you're probably going to start seeing these things that pop up and you're like, and all I see, I don't even see free. I see number signs. Like that's all I see.
The flip game.
The flip game.
We need to get into the flip game.
100%.
Flip game. That is because you were even saying, even like you said, Gary Vee as well. I know, like you're saying, Gary Vee goes to garages, and he's flipping that stuff in the garages and making money.
He teaches it all the time, and he still goes to garage sales. It's crazy to see, but he just goes in there, he buys something for a deal, he kind of grinds them on the price, and then he sees the value in it, and
boom,
and you can just basically make money doing it that way. And a lot of people are a little hesitant with, let's just say, garage sales, because they're like, well, what if I don't sell it? Or how can I be sure that I'm going to make that much money? Well, if you don't want to do that, go onto Marketplace, choose an item, and then find the highs and the lows and find the average.
Yeah.
And then you can basically see the information is telling you, okay, well, you're not going to buy the most expensive one to flip. You're not going to buy the middle, you know what I mean? You're gonna find something that is, you can see it's cheap. You can see other ones are selling for $200 or $300 more, or $1,000 more. Well, there's a deal right there.
Yeah.
So, out of all the years that I've been flipping, and it's been like a long time, I cannot remember one time that I lost money.
Really?
Nope, not even once.
Wow.
And we're talking like even in the times where like something went completely sideways and maybe I just got my money back. Like that was the worst thing that could possibly happen, is just I got my money back and it was a wash. So flip game is, you
Flip
literally
game
can,
strong.
you can make money flipping anything.
Dang.
Like, yeah,
Okay, I got to get into the flip game, guys.
yeah,
That's
100%.
the next time.
Flipping is where it's at.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the flip
And
game.
on the side, you know what I mean? Like you want to do your business, or say like this applies for people that are working like specifically like 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you want to replace that
Because
income?
you have your lunch breaks, you have your coffee breaks to find those flips. You have after work, and then you have all weekend to flip. Like you basically, if you get good at it, there is no, there, it would be very easy to flip stuff all weekend and replace your income like in that whole week for sure, without a doubt. I know I could, like, there's no doubt about it. I could flip one thing and replace, it's, once you start seeing it, like once you get into the flip game, you just start seeing stuff and it's just popping up. You're like, holy crap, that's cheap.
Yeah.
And you just buy it.
Okay.
It's no different than a business. That's what a business does. Like that's exactly what every business does on the planet, is they find their product as cheap as possible. So if one supplier is selling for X amount of dollars, they're constantly trying to find it cheaper. And if they can find it cheaper, then they buy it from that supplier and then they sell it.
Yeah.
They resell
Sell
it.
for more.
That's how it works.
No, that's flip game.
Flip game.
Flip game.
Flip game.
Flip game. I'm gonna get to the flip game.
100%.
So, kind of like a little bit gearing down here now. I just want to touch on, you wrote a book. You wrote 2 books actually.
Yeah, too.
Right.
Yep.
And I know the book. There's one book that you wrote, The 7 Secrets, I think, to
Of success. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you touch on maybe 2 or 3 of those points?
Yeah. So, man, that book was not easy.
Yeah.
It was.
What was the process of that, actually writing that?
Like, honestly, it was probably it was really tough for me to write that. Because, like I said before, like schooling's not my thing, like grammar's not my thing. Like it was just like chaos. So I had a plan. I had somewhat of a plan what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted it around business and success and all that.
Yeah.
So I basically started from the end and I worked my way backwards. So I started at the back of the book and then I worked my way this way.
So you wrote the.
I didn't actually write it backwards.
But you started with your
I
the
started
intent.
with my end, in mind.
End in mind.
So if you start with your end in mind, then you can kind of fill in all the gaps of how you want it to be.
That's something that
So
comes up
and
a
then
lot.
that's where the 7 steps kind of came into play. So it basically, it doesn't just, it tells, like, that book tells a lot about my personal story too as well.
Yeah.
Like it dives deep, like goes into like when I had no power and
Yeah.
like, I didn't grow up in like a really wealthy family. So there was a lot of tough times and struggles and all that. But yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. And then the other book was How to Change Your Habits Easily. So that's another really good book to read, because we all got, we both know we got bad habits and we got good habits. So it's to turn those bad habits into good ones and just try to progress.
How do we turn our bad habits into a good habit?
There's many different ways.
Yes. Okay.
There's many different ways that you can do it. It depends on the habit, because some habits are harder to get out of than others, right? And then habits are when somebody has a bad habit, that's usually when people, when they have tons of bad habits, they start to get depressed that they can't get out of it, and then anxiety sets in, and that whole thing spirals out of nowhere. So they might lose their job, and
this is a trickle down effect.
it just goes downhill fast. So if you are in that spot, like if you have bad habits and you have anxiety and you have all of these things, and say you don't even have a job right now, the best thing that you could possibly do is to get out and start going to the gym, start exercising. Another really good thing, even though nobody likes to do it, but when you're in that state, if you can take a cold shower and exercise, those are 2 huge things that help like anxiety and depression. So it's like a big thing. So there's a lot of people that are depressed these days, and they feel like there's no out. So, you know, anxiety and fear are two huge things that are limiting people. Usually when somebody has like a huge amount of anxiety, they're scared about like past events happening, you know, happening again. They're worried, but you know, fear is a whole other thing. You know, you're scared about stuff that's could possibly happen in the future. That, you know what, 9 times out of 10, if you're scared of something happening in the future, like 9 times out of 10, it actually won't happen. It's you just tricking yourself, and just psyching yourself out, and then that's where it comes. You know, that's what happens when people do that, is that they just have a hard time making that decision because they want everything perfect and they want everything right. So that's where it comes into play, right? Like they're scared to make a decision. They're scared to pull the trigger. Because they don't want to fail. They don't want to feel that bad feeling. They want to feel good, right? So your brain is telling you to do the things that make you feel good, not the things that could possibly make you feel bad, right? So
I have one thing I want to ask you before we kind of gear down to our final question here. Is I remember, so I was reading in your book, and I actually it said that you got into a crash. And your vehicle, I think it flipped over.
Yeah, I flipped it.
How did that kind of happen? And like, what was your mindset at that time? Like,
I don't know what was happening. Like, it was crazy. Like, I literally was driving down down a back road. I was going into the city. It was really, really early in the morning, and I had no seatbelt on. I was probably going like 110 down an icy road, and it was bad. Like, I was coming up to a vehicle, and I'm like, this guy's going like way too slow. So I go past him, and I must have hit some black ice. I finished passing him, and as soon as I finished passing him, the back end of the car came out, and I went sideways the opposite direction into the ditch. I hit the embankment, and then the car flipped up and then smashed on the ground, and then slid like another 25 feet into a barbed wire fence.
oh,
It was crazy. Like, it was literally insane. But what was like the craziest thing is that it was a car that had a center console. The steering wheel was real close. I had no seatbelt on, and when the car started to roll, it was like I was in the middle, like in the air, and the car literally rolled around me as I was in the air, because when the car landed back down, the steering wheel was up there, and I was perfectly fine.
what?
So I literally, wow. I honestly think somebody was looking over me, and somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Scar,
it was not my time, 100%. Because there was no way that you would even be able to turn. Like, if you were sitting in the car in the parking lot, it would be difficult to like turn your body and try to rotate that.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was perfectly level in the air,
and just like the car was spinning around you.
Spun around me, and then I went back down.
And you like landed in the seat?
I landed while it landed on the roof, because the seat was up there.
Oh.
So
wow.
Yeah, it was real crazy. So after it rolled, and when it was sliding into that fence, I can remember all the snow coming through and just like piling up, and it was real.
What was your mindset when that
I didn't even know what happened. Like, I'm like, it scared me. Yeah. it really scared me. So the guy that I passed actually pulled up, and I'm like, get me the F out of here. Like, I was just like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what I wanted to get out of there. Like, I was afraid like maybe it was going to start on fire or something. Yeah. Like, I didn't know. So that was a tough go.
Wow.
Yeah. That wasn't fun.
Wow.
But like, somebody must have been looking over me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still here. So
that's right. You know? That's right. And still got more to accomplish too.
Yeah.
So 100%. That's super big. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
But kind of touching down now to our kind of our theme question that we like to ask is, what is your theory of the grind?
theory of the grind.
Yes, sir.
The theory of the grind is basically having a mindset that's unstoppable. You have to have that mindset that it doesn't matter what happens, you're going to set that goal, you're going to get that result, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, you're going to achieve that. And I guarantee if you have a clear enough vision, and if your goal is right there, and you keep focusing on it, and you keep chasing it, it's going to happen. So keep chipping away, and you'll chip your way all the way to the top.
I love that. I think if there's a saying, it says nothing can stop something will. I'm not doing it justice, but I will find it. But just having that mindset, I think, like I said, I think mindset is key. When, just like how you were saying, when I had my injury and everything like that, if I didn't have that mindset, I wouldn't have bounced back like how I did. And I think mindset is super, super key to everything that you do. So that's a great theory of the grind, right there. And so now, just giving you, this is your time here to say anything that you have upcoming, or anything that you want people to know about your businesses. You have tons of businesses, so just this is, the floor is open for you now to just talk about your businesses, tell them anything that you have upcoming, or where they can reach you, or get in touch with you if they need something from your business.
Yeah, for sure. Like if anybody is wanting to, if they have an existing business and they want to do marketing or advertising, we have a couple different ways. We can be reached either on Facebook, or by phone. Our number's 587-336-9110.
I'll make sure we drop all those down.
Yeah, you can basically reach out to us anytime. We don't just do consulting for big businesses. We do small businesses, lots of marketing for smaller ones too as well. So Textology is a big thing. So if you're looking at marketing your business in a different way in the upcoming years, that's definitely going to be the way to go. So and then also we're going to be doing. We're going to be starting a podcast on mindset.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes,
you're going to be one of our guests for sure.
Yes,
we got to line that up.
Yes,
so,
sir.
but
Yes,
I really appreciate you having me on.
No problem.
Pleasure is all mine, man.
No problem. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on.
It's awesome.
Also, well, I guess the season is probably done now, but I know you have luxury rentals as well.
Yeah, we also do the rental end of things. So we do boat rentals and a bunch of other rentals in the summertime. And then we're just finishing off our website to do like a ton of different stuff. So industrial equipment rentals, sleds, snowmobiles, side by sides.
I'm gonna
all that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna come to that. I need to do some activities in the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can visit us. It's legacy.ca. LegacyRentals.ca actually, and you can visit us there and contact us, and
all right,
let's rent you some toys.
Yes, sir. And where can the people find you?
I'm online. The best place to find me is probably Facebook.
Okay.
First name's Jesse Lee Lakusta.
Okay.
And I got a page on there, so if you want to reach out to me or PM me anytime. I'm more than willing to help as many people as possible. That's
definitely true.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. That's why we're interacting here. That's why we're telling our stories and trying to let everybody know that it doesn't matter what situation you're in. There is always a solution. Like even when you think that there isn't, there always is a solution. So reach out. You know what I mean? Don't be shy to reach out. Never be shy to reach out, and never be shy to make a mistake.
That's right.
Never feel like you can't do these things, because it's going to help you in the end. So just surround yourself with like-minded people, and you'll do fine.
Hey, ended on a gem. That is a wrap for the Grind Theory Talk Show. We will be back with another episode coming up soon. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like. Make sure you guys go and follow Jesse. Make sure you guys go check out his businesses for any of your needs. And we will see you guys soon.